The gate crash though. It's dropped down, so I see feigning and faking that they're going for this A pressure. It's going to keep most of these EDG players at least tethered to the spot.
Actually, both teams faking here because EDG were making it look like it was only nobody playing A when suddenly there's 4 players over in that side of the map.
Both teams trying to obfuscate their intent here. The Nana Swarm dropped down! Hot feet there for Leaf. Unable to really rest the steady hands there for the kill onto Chichu, but catching this in theory and at least in practice too. Trent does get that kill, so Kang down as a 4 versus 4. Spike planted for G2. Over that re-exploration in through Garage. Chichu, 40 health, will be dropped. He's looking to put the squeeze of the rest of his team onto these players here. Icy still comes up with one just before the trade, but they're missing these timings onto one another. And now just 2 against the 3. G2 have got to try and hold this one back here. Util in the back pocket. Simon's got that fault line. It's going to be let loose along with the paranoia in through the back. Valen could not stand a chance against it. And you know where the last is. Jonah P is no more. Another pistol round here for EDG. We were highlighting the ideas that they had coming into this map. They look well drilled on Haven. That's why it's that scary, tumultuous terror. Smoggy potentially going to be tested here. It's just G2 feigning like they are. They want to grab an orb, see if they can pull a few players out of position, maybe get a kill. Meanwhile, full lobby control. Nobody's holding onto the drone like, do I use it? What's going on?
Playing aggressively like this is really, really strong against this Viper wall. It's aggressive. It can be punished in other ways.
Just bonkers though. I mean, going for the flash re-clear.
Wow.
And the crossfire's already been set up and it's a gun given away, but Leafy's got his back wide open, so Simon will happily take that time in against him. Aftershock is good too, in through the back. Icy trying to TP and make a play happen.
G2 has got to step up. Probably Valen going in and trading these out.
The soundbait here out towards A lobby.
Still making it feel like it's only nobody home on A.
That fault line still being held by Simon. A little bit of mid-rounder, making sure that they can break some of this util. It's drone forwards and through B. All the trips going to be dealt with here. We're barely down into the minute mark.
It's good defaulting.
Oh, Simon, what are you going for here? You silly Billy. Dropped, man. He's taking risks to try and get that mid-round information. Stun connects, but Leaf's covering over the shoulder. All it takes is a few bullets to drop down Kang.
That is an enormous risk. Just a hard read that G2 were going back and going into an A exec.
Smoggy barely spotting the shoulder on either side here. He is the one in danger. So at the end of the day, you've got to take risks. It's a good paranoia. Doesn't connect onto too many more of them as well. They want to make a good go of things here, but Trent's going to be swinging this with the might of the rest of his team. And it's probably going to be seeing more of the same here from G2. Real cautious at the beginning. EDG fully disrespecting A lobby, just walking all the way up. Now they hear the Euro all popped up, and G2, he wants nothing to do with it. Orb over the top as well. It's just straight from the lineup, but EDG players going to be trying to evacuate into the arms of Leaf. Already sucked up position in through Garage here. They hear the footsteps as well. EDG just crossed up, nobody not expecting like Leaf could already have repositioned there. Fake into the TP, Kang. Not going to be setting his eyes there for long, but not also going to be winning out the fight. He's going to be dropped. And at this point, with just Simon and Smoggy left alive, forced to save these rifles.
And Simon's petrified. He thinks that Leaf is going to be coming around behind him. In his head there, Leaf was just pushing out Garage, and Leaf is going to be popping out of, you know, window or pushing around behind him. He thinks he's fully stuck in that spot. Now, obviously, we can tell that Leaf had decided not to take that particular snack and had gone off in a different direction to make sure that the post plant was secure in other areas. But yeah, EDG getting a little stressed out in these final 2 rounds with the correct ways to respond to things. They're holding the fault line, they're holding the stuns, they're not actually going for early round flushing out A lobby.
Valen's walked straight past, there's no TP necessary, nobody punished for the hubris. Yes, it is these weaker weapons in the hands of these EDG players, and they want to try and make usage of them, but to their own dismay.
Spike drop. Time to jump. Decoy.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money as well, talking about that kind of push and pull from EDG, where the defense onto A is going to be weaker. Kind of looking to do some damage.
Yeah, it's not necessarily weak, it's slow. I think that's the biggest issue that EDG are currently having. In an ideal world, they would want to flush out A lobby, clear it out, and then get back to doing what they're doing on the rest of the map.
G2 just going to be looking to get some players out alive, although Leaf might want to go hunting. 2 away from a pretty big ult. He's the one watching the flank though, and money is booming, so don't really have to worry too much about losing some of these guns. Taking a jiggle, Simon spotted, taken out. Kang's last one left, right through the wall.
Playing on this map.
You're already seeing the difficulties for EDG to get a handle on that A lobby control. Unless they fully commit with bodies and a bit of utility to clear it out early. The Viper wall.
Deploying drone.
Yeah, I think nobody needs to be using his drone from short to clear out that area while someone else jiggle spots A long. This is a mistake I think that a lot of people make against this Viper. Certainly one the Sentinels made when they were playing.
G2 right now, they're fishing for a couple of ults to be used, misused by EDG. They've got a lot in their back pocket. See the tap of the orb, that was the intent of it, to see if they had those protocols to...
Both flashes have been used already on A just to re-clear for information. And there are still 3 players deeply committed to the A site of 50 seconds on the clock. They're not ready to flood defend into B right now. Now they're starting to get a move on. Now they're starting to get here.
Bolt line's good. Aftershock even better. They'll be able to get themselves out of there with the util. Yes, at least now the Rolling Thunder clears it, but it's an open and empty side at the end of the day. Kang. It's like tap. Forces out the first wave of things, which happens to be the bullets. Snake bite, lay it out on top. Orb alongside it, all grouped up. There needs to be an extra element here from EDG if they want to try and navigate this spot and situation. It's a drone out and through. It's going to get that tag onto Valen. Going to be util used to clear him out here. Wall blocking the way, but holding it down out through Garage and whipping the rifle around, spraying, not quite praying. To the advantages of the composition. Here's a bit of a push. Looking like they're trying to feign, like they're fighting over A lobby, at least with the early stun, and Kang is immediately getting the hell out of there, but it's just a cheeky play. Throw out there when your money's a little bit weaker.
At least this time, though, they also have nobody posted up with a Marshal, so this is going to allow them to rotate other people off. You know, this line that he's on is going to allow the defenders to stack more over towards C rather than keeping those 3 cemented on A. This is the kind of thing they could maybe try to add into their rifle rounds.
Oh, Valen, oh my, nobody's catching the contact. I also heard the ult popped off into the background. That's Kang using it, but already understands that the rotations have to be coming through fast at it. Nobody's going to need some help now. He's going to be swarmed into this short position. Ult's still there, but it's going to be running short. Kills need to be found from it. The stun is almost perfect. Yes, indeed it is. There's that util that we're talking about. They've got spades of it to try and refight those areas, and what a time to do it. And Trent, oh my, 30 seconds left into the round, but surely you can't do it in a 1v3.
30 seconds left.
Spike hard committed into the middle of nowhere. EDG's eye set on it.
Too little time on the clock, surely.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Unless there's a weakness that crops up here for EDG, but they just catch it. The contact is...
Ult's overall kind of combo, then they won't be too worried about dropping it. Kang looks to disrupt.
Holding time as well, but that turret's going to be dropped down. Kang, you are right into the middle of nowhere, using both the glides, but he just cannot escape from the fight that G2 were just squaring up to.
He knows he has to get aggressive in that spot, though, because if you just let G2 fight, that ult combo is going to be deadly.
That's all occurring in the first 30 seconds. Nobody now will be using that drone to clear up and through into short. Don't believe it's spotted onto IC. EDG's defensive setup again has to scatter. Losing Kang. Player's going to be spread thin. Nobody getting that tag as well. And you're going to be hearing that Euro popped off now. Corners are cleared by IC. Nobody going for again that re-exploration. It's a risky play that does not pay off for him.
I'm back.
EDG will go for it just to, you know, poke, prod, see if they can get a pick. But if they can't, this is looking like a save round already. But
Simon's missed.
With a couple kills, with 1 or 2, suddenly it becomes worth going for.
Especially with the damage done to Trent already. Simon's got Again, that util ready. Valindo holding the paranoia. It's going to be using this one pound for pound unless EDG have a plan around it. There's the blind and there's the smoke. Already down and out here. Time is going to start to tick here for EDG. Smoggy waiting for his win con to try and play himself into this spot. Blinded up matters not, at least for G2. Got that discipline, making sure to play together as a pack.
And EDG have actually ended up going for a half buy. They chose not to force.
Economy's going a bit skew with.
That was the danger of committing to the retake. That's why I said it might have just been a save round, but they were baited into going for it after that pick on Leaf in mid.
Smoggy's going to be priming the paranoia. Kang with deep control out towards C as well. There's a lot of information to give the rest of EDG, knowing that G2 are just sitting pretty. Or potentially giving up most of mid control. Thrown out. Used pound for pound again. Broken, taken out. Smoggy still holding, spammed, expected. Heads up play by G2. And they don't overcommit into it. Instead, walking over. Kang's at an off angle. All he needs is the one kill, but running way ahead of it. It's a flash, or at least a stun, at least to play himself out. And he's done so with perfection. Nobody right from behind as well, making sure that this is really putting a squeeze down.
Indicates somebody on G2 is supposed to trade that out. They can't, they're stunned. Another beautiful moment from Simon with his supportive utility. It won't really show in the stats, but you can see it here. It's been a number of rounds now since Leaf has had this lockdown online. They could have tried to build around, trying to get it into a position, you know, deep down short, tuck it into Bunny. But instead he's been covering the flank.
Yeah, never really in a position to use it. Might be getting challenged soon.
Yeah, that flank coverage may be coming through in this round.
No one's watching this. Nothing to take point and contact from it. The players have already pushed up from G2 straight into mid with the drone. Again, they are none the wiser. 3 players now. Kang leading the charge as the spearhead for the team and striking right where it hurts. It's G2. You're going to be left reeling, and you have to pivot. You have to hard react now into the A site. It's the only option open. But already they've got these kill trip setups, and Smoggy's already repositioned. The reinforcements have arrived at that. An ult committed. Up onto the high ground. This is an awkward position for G2 to be into. Jonapi with a plan, but he's pushed back and away from it with the damage done onto all of them. And already tacked up, a kill to be claimed. Jonapi dropped. Valen is right there at him. Kang going to be found. Simon's right from behind. Again putting the squeeze and just not expecting it. Will get read by EDG.
If they do increase the tempo, Kang is on the wrong side of the map. But no, G2 decide to play this one pretty similarly to the rest of their rounds. Slowly. There's that alarm bot over towards C. Not sure what happened with the alarm bot in the previous round. I wasn't paying attention to it. So that's going to stop any kind of push now from happening.
Through spots out most. It's the trip here for the defensive setup. Kang's at the up though. Great line of sight. Good awareness though from G2, already jump spotting this one with the smoke in their face to try and feign like they're crossed up here. But the lockdown's not going to be stretching into the back section of this C site. And Kang will be able to hold his ground, stand it down. Hunter's Fury now into the corner. That is a nice set play. Haven't seen that one in quite some time. Reminiscent of EG on Fracture back in the day. And Icy will be able to get that plant down as a result of that one. So baiting him in, but he hadn't cleared Smoggy, but the trade is intact. And there, Valen rewarded with it. That patience that's being played, and with the pit drop down into the back. Chichu's desperately hunting for the neural theft. He does get it off and stays alive. But what can EDG do with that information? Stun into the corner again. Global util, it's been good. Trent is basically dead to rights. Indeed, cleaned up just from that utility time. Might start to become a problem. Spike's ticking away. Chichu with another one. Pit's still up though. Gotta worry about this one.
It's not planted for the pit.
Yeah, it's playing out wide here. The tap. Knows he's not playing onto the contact. Jonah P is going to be weaving in and out. Still going to be coverage. There he jumps around the corner, but it's Diamond who saves the bloody day. No! Oh, time getting away.
Slightly.
Just trying to set Kang into the appropriate spot. Icy. Spam down into the corner here. Smoggy, though, is going to be going down. Valen will not leave that one uncontested. Nobody. Steep tucked. Paranoia is going to be dodging. But at least with the draw, no way! Backstabs in play! Kang with all that positioning, 6-6. That is an explosive.
Save one, which was EDG at Tokyo. And they're barreling down A-Long, looking to put on a performance like that again.
And win over G2 would certainly set that kind of tempo and pace forward. It's going to be util used. Responded by G2 to try and push back this long aggression.
A bit of a team flash there.
Yeah.
A rough one that might have just saved G2 a little from that opening exec. They still have paranoia. That didn't even get baited out.
Nice, he's sitting with another flash in the back pocket.
5 seconds until the fault line comes back. And the recon.
So the timing's been waited out, so EDG do have that util now to make another go with it. The smoke in short is causing problems. Kangkang's just going to just walking straight through it. No util to clear. He's lucky again to be alive. There was no damage really. Lay it down onto him here. There's 45 seconds left. Again, the dart at their backs. Recon going to be broken, still lighting them up, and the crossfire setups are definitely enough. G2 didn't budge, didn't get rooted away from this spot. Trent delivers a 4-piece.
Also, we haven't seen G2 play with Viper in a long time, so hard to know if this is standard or a specific read into how EDG exec.
There's a lot of unknowns. We'll be learning alongside everybody at home.
Their flood defense strat looks like it's going to be over towards C, as a lot of people do. Most teams are going to be running that. Throw a smoke over, get the Viper wall up, and you can reinforce Leaf's position very quickly.
I'm out of here.
Plant the spike.
Kang not willing to reveal the fact that he's holding on to the Marshall.
Bomb grenade out.
Now an attempt over towards the C side. The util is always going to be good for it. I mentioned how good EDG's execs are, but they don't really have the weapons for it, so it will have to be util to try and save the day. Leaf peeks up and over, realizing he wasn't favored, going to be backing away, and the pause is caught at just the right time. Refighting into the back of the site will not turn up with absolutely anything. It's cleaned up. Stack him up, knock him down by Jonah P himself.
Make Haven an impossibility.
I might just send them spiraling. Flash through into mid, couple of stray shots. Bit of posturing from Kang. Overall though, nice and slow. The drone timing, I believe, missed there by Trent. He's not going to be able to see too much information, and a shot whiffed by Icy. Looking to get posted back up onto that one. Trent is going to be under so much pressure once more here with a drone into his face. He's going to try and take a timing past it. He's way ahead of it. Question is, does he come up with any results as well? The fuel timing, it's got to be calmed. Aftershock in through into the back as well as the dart. He doesn't reveal it. Bulldog spray is labored at that, but at least he claims the kill. What a trade down. Snakebite up and over the top as well, only applying a slight amount of vulnerability, and as they attempt to play and swing off of that, EDG are ready. They hold it down with the rifles.
Nice attempt by Trent in that round. Really needed his aim to be a bit cleaner to pick up 2 if there was any chance of making this one winnable. EDG showcasing that they're happy to do a 2-wave exec to try to get through that Viper orb, sorry. But if they're gonna sit there, drone, and then execute afterwards, I thought he teleported straight into the trip there.
Was a chance.
Yeah, if they're going to do that kind of play, it's going to give G2 a lot of time to set up flanks, to rotate over and reinforce the A site.
It's Valorant looking to do some damage. It's
That's
quite
good.
nice, yeah. 2 kills.
Good.
Dodge on the phone line, misses the shot though, and the gate crash is not good. Delayed as he's trying to activate it. Kang will punish.
Go, go, go.
Steps up to that challenge with a stun as well. All up in the face of G2. Makes it feel like they could have been going with a bit more pace off the backside of it. Drone in the mid-round, used to clear it. Nobody's going to use it. See if you can gain any more information. Jonah P, they know that the Snakebite was dropped down, at least from the 1 avenue.
Nice cage, threatening like there could be alert going on. Does Jonah P buy it? Doesn't really seem that he does.
They're going for a reclear. I mean, as many fights are about to be occurring here. Nobody wins it out through mid. Valiant going peekaboo. Rips the head off Smoggy. Backs away and plays his life. Trent as well baited into a one-and-done position in case there is that re-exploration by EDG.
If you had a stat of players fault-lined, Simon would be,
He'd be
right
up there.
I mean, that one aimed for Valen, but catches onto Trent. Like you said, he's kind of stuck in short right now. Leaf's going to be asked to do a lot. he has to be worried about this B lurk, and he has to try to cover the C site as well. Viper's down, so Jonah P can't pop that wall up and try to help them flood defend in here.
Yeah.
And Leaf's getting squeezed.
He really is, right from the sides. And the damage done. I mean, listen, Kang was almost alone taking that fight, but he would have had backup at the end of the day anyway. C-plant and G2. Take the tail between their legs there. Going to be going all the way away. They want to save this operator.
You certainly don't want that one to fall into enemy hands.
Yeah.
Making that donation over to Kang would be probably a pretty large mistake. Who knows? Maybe they wouldn't even want to play with it on the attack side as a Neon, but Kang does love to attack up. I think this round was fairly chalked right from the beginning when Icy fails his shot. Kang immediately punishes over there by A-Long. If you're making the investment to put the operator into his hands, as they are again by going and saving it, he's got to be hitting with you into the round.
Taps onto the orbs. Simon going to be happy for that one now. He's going to be one away towards the Rolling Thunder. Big tool to use. Assuming to get this one online as well, and you're going to be thinking favor to at least get the plant or a couple of kills into this, with G2's weaponry being so low. The danger has to come from Icy or Valorant.
They haven't particularly tested this C defense. I mean, they've been over there once or twice, but we haven't seen what the G2 flood defend on C looks like. They're actually running into a similar defensive problem as EDG were, where they're keeping 3 players A deep into the rounds. I mean, look at them right now. They don't have too much info, deep down long, that kind of thing. So you've just got no ability to pivot your players over and defend against this exec. This is just absolute free real estate for EDG.
Kang's the one who steps forwards, taking a challenge into the smoke. Flashes won't connect. And again, playing a retake without any rifles, really, other than just Valen and the op. It's an impossibility for G2. That's the position they're going to be forced into. Choosing whether or not to even make a go of this. Up and around as well. Baiting with the bodies, seeing if they can set up any sort of kills, but everybody falls
On the ropes.
A mass amount of pings over towards the C site. Valen is going to be tested potentially here from the exec. He sprays down a couple of bullets. No kill inside, just contact plays, but a dart going to be short of the mark there, shy of it. All up once more, EDG.
They've seen Valen over towards C. Now, he was previously playing A a lot, so that might make them think, okay, let's not go into C. It looks like it's reinforced fairly heavily. Perhaps we can take another avenue here, a different approach. And the breach ult, as that tool in their back pocket, may end up being a fantastic asset.
Jump from nobody. Nothing else past this point. Looking to fake this presence. There's a Rolling Thunder that cuts it up as well, but already deep down C, G2 have taken that space, and they're going to know and be fully aware that there's really nothing else behind this one, and so the call is made. They realize it, a slow crawl all the way over towards the A site. EDG think that they've sold them an absolute blinder.
What a timing for Icy and Jonah P to be re-clearing C. They are still going to be forced to retake, however. Can Trent ult to deny this plan?
30 seconds left.
Nobody sticking it. It's a little bit delayed and late here. The Hunter's Fury, yeah, it's not going to be connecting. Kang's going walkabouts. Played in right off the back of it. Their own ult as well, potentially obfuscating most of it. Flank, it's going to have to be held. Icy, no way past it. Has to break the trip now. It's alerted him to his presence. Locked down by Smoggy. This 1v1 being taken, but the rest of G2 is being just, again, plucked out of the prettiest picture. Still going to be trying to win out these fights. Held over the shoulder. Down to that 2 versus 2. Kang ult in hand. Lets it rip, but again, his head's on a swivel. And Trent delivers a miracle. Get the hell out of here.
He's pulled it out of nowhere. I mean, I had no concept that those players...
Map in their stride, despite the fact that not quite elimination, but it's a game that will knock them off their feet. Here's a Hunter's Fury to supplement this play as well. Lighten up Trent. Kang to capitalize.
It's another round where G2, if they lose, their economy's broken. They are not out of the woods yet.
Neural to try and potentially play this one into the retake. The Neural Theft spots out most of the players. They know that the flank isn't really a threat right now. G2 playing this one in almost entirely together. A lot of util to be used here. Your ult already popped off. Blind with the paranoia, up into the corner, spraying away. They know the rough positions of these players as well. They have to collect it all together. Jonah P up onto the high ground, not enough to collect it, drop down and spray.
EDG should be favored to get up to 11 here, and that is within touching distance of securing this match and going to playoffs. The only #1 seed that would have managed that so far.
One that was least expected.
From inarguably the weakest region, and I don't mean that as a knock on China, just historically, trophies gained, depth in tournaments, China hasn't been there yet. But that yet is doing a ton of heavy lifting here at Champs.
It's the key word. The tide might be changing. EDG are grouped up here, contacting most of the way forwards. I know there's not too much of a risk, but G2 are taking a gamble of their own on the eco. To stack of players could present some danger, especially with EDG just making sure to walk all the way, most of the way through this one, spotting the contact here. And now, not going to be dealt with, lighting them up. Cutting it up into the cross. Fire setup with the smokes finally blooming and blossoming, and Icy trying to flash himself in. Making a play, but this is EDG up to 11.
G2 are going to have to make an adjustment to reinforce this A site. It's been such a glaring weakness in their defense now. Oh,
Did every pellet miss?
Who knows how that one's happened. Leaf is 1 away from getting a lockdown. Trent is a couple away from a Hunter's Fury. These kind of ults can really reinforce an A site. They work for plant denial, they work for a retake potential as well. But they're going to get them online by dying, really. That's not a great...
Of their team, the improvements that have been made. I'm dead impressed. The pace and tempo. It's turned up, increased off the back of it. Ult, not committed, in fact, just broken. Kang trying to play himself in, it's doubled up. Movement slightly ajar, enough to just offset all of it. And pre-fires into the corner. Hunter's Fury again to supplement and push back EDG away from this C site.
G2 are using huge amounts of ultimates here, but it is getting them the value. 5v3, and G2 are looking to re-clear over towards Garage.
Picked up. G2's got it now.
Does he realize he's back? He's got enemies there.
Silent drop down, Leaf. He nails it. Chichu drops, so does the spike. Nobody going for another reclamation. No, my goodness. Smoggy can only do so much into this spot. He's got the time to work with, but unfortunately, insurmountable odds. And it's all set against him here. G2 will...
It has been a massive weakness. EDG are going to try to exploit that. Or fake that they're going to try to exploit that. 3 players cemented in place for G2 on A, and Icy incentivized to go for the push down C.
And this is ballsy. Yes, he has the gate crash, but he's taking this fight almost alone. Nobody, he's droned up, and right ahead of it, nobody! Burst it down, beam down. Where's the follow-up and through? It's up through Garage, and Kang will be dropped. Leaf making sure to shore up those defenses with the reinforcements now scattering and arriving. There are some potential holes here into the setup, and Chichu has found one of them.
Very safe positioning there from Icy and Leaf. They don't want to get caught out. They're happy to give the C site over. They've got lockdown for the retake, as long as Leaf doesn't die right now.
Why not play like that? It's a 3v5. Don't give away any unnecessary advantages. Fault line. Push into the spawn. Smoggy wants to go with things, but it did not connect. Not onto Icy, not this time. Simon with the plant. Stuck in place. Chichu's still there, pushing forwards. Aftershock as well. It's all highlighted and orchestrated like they want to try and fight this once again, and G2 are fully aware. Anti-flash. A dart into the back. A playmaking ability by Icy. Sacrificing his own body for it, but he's still the one to come up with the kill. Simon has got to do so much more. Kills are offered up towards him, but not enough in the end. G2 collect it all together, playing together with that discipline that's highlighted this team as a major strength all throughout, and they've managed to equalize it up to 11. 11-11. Nice and cautious here by EDG. They're hoping and praying that somebody will just peek onto this A-long. Angle for the information. Full prey to Kang with the up. It's being jiggled, I believe, onto the other side of things. Chichu also going exploration. Oh, Garage does manage to fire the few bullets necessary. Takes out the alarm bot.
And now nobody actually has somebody with him, right? He's not going to get timinged.
They're all from Icy. This is going to be used roughly around the minute mark. He needs that mid-round information for the rest of his team. Spotting 2 of these players in through mid. Pretty big tell. Exiting out, gate crashes
Flying drone.
potentially to the other side of the map as well. So a slow and steady play by EDG. The longer this goes, oh, Kang misses it with a shoulder peek. And the awareness is now there for G2. They do not want to offer any more chances. Shock dart, rebounds, patience played, but A-Long has been given up with only 35 seconds. This looks like it's moving, the jump spot. Trent tempt him twice. Rolling Thunder now committed. Paranoia alongside it. Valen is tucked safe. Nicely inside the orb. Stunned up. Matters not. This guy's still alive and kicking here with a flash of his own as well to play into the back pocket. The rest of his team are already played all the way in. Simon weaving in and out. Nowhere to play. With the spike into his hands, he just has to let the time run way out. And G2, they've stolen this round away. When all the momentum felt like it was in the hands of EDG. This is the 12th round now for G2.
9 down, now with a chance to bring us to bind. You gotta close teams out like G2.
Kang's going to take matters into his own hands here. All the util to set it up. Another fast play from EDG. Again, an open site for the taking. Fault line in through the link as well, but G2 and none playing towards it. Wizened up to the tricks of the trade. Lockdown's going to be used as well to clear this one out nice and freely. No more util has to be used here by G2. Drone in through the back. Trent's going to be threatening like it could be making a play for this one.
Alarm bot for the garage reflank. They're going to know about this.
Nobody's already passed it though. Lambot triggers, Jonah P defusing half onto the board. This is for the map. Someone needs to stop this. Someone needs to stop this, but no one is there. G2 right from beneath them. They steal the map away. And bind is fated to happen.
I think steal is the perfect word to use there. EDG looked like they were in control, up 11-9. You have to close out against teams like G2. You cannot afford to let the series go deeper. EDG have just lost control.